have with us, joining us via Zoom, Shirley-Ann Chinonye Akabueze. She is a health coach, a wellness entrepreneur, and she's also a telehealth project manager. Shirley, welcome to the show. So, Shirley-Ann, there's so much information out there about nutrition and it can be quite overwhelming. And the feature we just watched talked about some common myths about nutrition. Can you help us debunk some of those myths and provide us with some facts that we can rely on?
First, food is about the individual and not the dietary theory. I learned more than 100 dietary theories, and I could tell you that if you begin to follow each of these theories, you're going to get lost. So, what I tell people is choose food based on your relationship with food. This is what I mean. Choose foods based on how they impact on your health, how they impact on your productivity, your mood, your energy, and even your digestion. So the food you choose per time should be based on your wellness or nutritional needs at that point in time. Okay? And not because there is a new trend in town or not because there is a new meat going around.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So, a lot of people struggle with eating healthy on a budget. Do you have any advice on how to make nutrition or nutritious eating affordable or more affordable? Because some people believe eating healthy is expensive.
Yes, I understand this. Honestly, we can't overlook the cost of food now. Things are generally expensive. So, but what I advise people at this point in time is this: make sure to buy from the local market. Okay, that way you're able to get food at a cheaper cost. Also, try to grow your own food. I just started a program called Straight from My Balcony, where I'm actually already harvesting some of my food. Yes, while things are actually very, very expensive, we should look at what our goals are per time. Remember, I said eat according to your goals and not according to the nutritional trends or dietary theories. Okay, so now when you look at your goals, then you find a way to improvise. Generally, eating now is expensive, not just even healthy eating. Generally, eating is expensive because of the situation we find ourselves in the country. But if we're able to actually try to buy from the local market, if we're actually able to grow our own foods, if we are also actually able to be intentional about whatever is it we put in our mouth, because no matter how things are expensive, people are definitely going to feed. So the little you can actually afford, ask yourself, how will this food I'm about to eat impact on my health? How will it impact on my productivity, my energy, my digestion? So if the impact is going to be negative, there is no point eating it.
Great advice. So let's talk about superfoods. What are they? What's the best way to incorporate them in our diet and without making drastic changes?
Superfoods are actually foods that are nutritionally dense. This means they are nutritionally high in nutrients than other foods. And some of these foods include like cocoa, like nutritional mushrooms. We have the bee product, okay? So these foods actually are higher in nutrients than the regular foods that we can find around. So because some of these foods are not indigenous to us here in Nigeria, but some of them we can actually lay our hands on are the bee product like the honey. Some we can get the reishi mushroom. We can even get the cocoa. So the thing is this: in as much as these foods are actually called superfoods, they are the most nutrient dense in the world. Are they okay for you as an individual? You remember I said that food is about the individual and not even about the dietary theory. So each time you're going to choose a particular superfood, this is what I advise. Experiment with these foods one after the other to find out which one works for you. Remember the bio-individuality concept of one man's food being another man's poison. So that these foods are generally termed superfoods doesn't even mean they will work for you.
Nice. All right. So, Shirley-Ann, many people find it challenging to balance their nutrition with a busy lifestyle. Do you have any tips for maintaining a healthy diet when you have limited time to prepare your meals or cook?
Okay, I generally tell people this. Each time I work with a client, I always tell them, if you want to make sure you did not run into any food emergency, make sure you have protein at hand. This is what I mean. Make sure to fuel your food with protein, fiber, okay? Eat more of proteins, eat foods that are actually high in fiber. That way it will sustain you for long. Also make sure to have nuts that you can actually tolerate, handy. Make sure to have fruits that you enjoy and tolerate, handy. Meal prepping and batch cooking also help. So if you're able to choose a day in the week to prep your meals and to cook, that goes a long way. So I always tell people, if you want to sustain healthy eating, you must make sure you have the right food at hand. Having the right food at hand makes it very, very possible for you to attain your wellness goals or even your nutritional goals. But when you're being careless, about it, by not having things that are actually beneficial for you handy, it's always very, very easy to fall off the wagon.
And just before we go, because my director is already giving me signs that we are out of time. All right, there's often a lot of confusion about dietary supplements. Can you shed some light on when they are necessary and how to choose the right ones for our individual needs?
When it comes to supplements, the safest place and the best place to start is actually with vitamin D. In as much as the medical doctor is the best person to tell you when you need to start taking supplements, I always advise people not to. Even when I coach people, I advise them to always seek medical attention first before ever starting on any kind of supplement. But the cheapest is actually vitamin D, and that can be gotten directly from the sun between the hours of 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. But there are also cases where people actually maintain a healthy diet but still lack in some of these essential vitamins and nutrients. So it could be in cases like chronic fatigue, maybe they're having thyroid issues, or maybe they're overly stressed. Okay, so their doctor is in the best place to actually recommend which supplements they can actually begin with. But remember, the safest and the cheapest is vitamin D.